The golden years, a time many dream of filling with adventure, exploring ancient ruins, basking on sun-drenched beaches, or reconnecting with distant family. You've worked hard, raised families, and now finally, the world feels within reach, beckoning with promises of unforgettable experiences. But what if the very adventures you're longing for hold hidden dangers, secrets that could transform a once-in-a-lifetime journey into a nightmare? What if the difference between a cherished memory and a deeply regrettable incident lies in crucial knowledge you haven't yet uncovered? Don't let the excitement of new horizons blind you to critical insights that could safeguard your peace of mind, your health, and your hard-earned savings. Because while the allure of distant lands is undeniable, for those enjoying life's later chapters, travel comes with a unique set of considerations that often go unexamined until it's far too late. We're about to pull back the curtain on the often unspoken realities of senior travel, revealing vital truths that could shape your next big adventure, or even prevent a crisis. Stay with us, because the knowledge shared here isn't just advice. It's a crucial shield against potential heartache and regret, especially the final point, which many overlook entirely, risking their financial security and peace of mind. Navigating increased health risks and medical emergencies. As we gracefully age, our bodies embark on a journey of their own, becoming somewhat less predictable and more susceptible to sudden changes. This means that one of the most significant concerns when contemplating travel after the age of 70 is the elevated risk of unexpected health issues and full-blown medical emergencies. Conditions that might be manageable at home, such as heart disease, fluctuating blood pressure, or respiratory problems, can suddenly escalate into critical situations when you least expect them, especially when far from your familiar surroundings. Imagine experiencing a sudden onset of symptoms in a bustling foreign city or on a remote cruise ship. At home, a quick call to your doctor or a short drive to the nearest hospital provides immediate comfort and care. But when you're traveling, especially in an unfamiliar place where language barriers and differing healthcare systems come into play, getting the right timely treatment can become a bewildering and frightening ordeal. A minor health hiccup that would be easily handled by your local physician could, in these circumstances, spiral into a serious, even life-threatening situation. For many older adults, the threat of a medical emergency while abroad isn't just a distant possibility, it's a very real and present danger. Consider the seemingly innocuous aspects of travel itself. Extended periods in confined spaces during long-haul flights can significantly increase the risk of blood clots, often referred to as deep vein thrombosis. Venturing into high-altitude destinations can place immense strain on the heart and lungs, a particular concern for those with pre-existing conditions. Even something as simple and seemingly harmless as dehydration or heat exhaustion, which might be a minor inconvenience for younger individuals, can hit much harder and lead to severe complications in an unfamiliar climate. Furthermore, seniors generally have a more vulnerable immune system, making them more prone to infections. This means that exposure to new bacteria and viruses, common in different travel environments, can easily trigger unexpected and debilitating illnesses. Think of James, a vibrant 74-year-old who for decades had cherished the joy of exploring new places. He and his wife had meticulously planned a 2-week cruise, envisioning it as a perfectly relaxing way to discover new horizons without excessive physical exertion. However, on the 4th day, the dream turned into a terrifying reality when James began experiencing severe chest pain. The ship's medical staff provided immediate basic care, but it became clear he urgently needed the advanced facilities of a hospital. Being in the vast expanse of the ocean, an emergency evacuation to the nearest port was the only option, delaying critical treatment by precious hours. Fortunately, James survived, but the harrowing experience left him and his wife deeply shaken. What was meant to be a serene and memorable vacation transformed into a terrifying ordeal, one he later admitted could have potentially been mitigated had they truly considered the profound medical risks involved. Another critical oversight is often related to medical insurance. Many seniors mistakenly believe their standard health coverage will magically extend its reach wherever their travels take them. Sadly, this assumption often proves to be devastatingly false, as they discover too late that their domestic insurance offers little to no coverage for medical treatment in a foreign country. Without the right, comprehensive travel insurance, hospital visits, life-saving emergency surgeries, and even routine prescription medications can result in astronomical out-of-pocket costs. It's not uncommon for seniors to face bills mounting into the tens of thousands of dollars just to receive the necessary care while abroad, transforming their savings into a medical debt nightmare. So if you're over 70 and the wanderlust is still calling, what steps can be taken to safeguard your journey? Firstly, a crucial first step is to consult with your doctor. Schedule a thorough health assessment, openly discuss any potential risks or concerns related to your planned itinerary, and ensure you have an ample supply of all necessary medications, along with a detailed list of your prescriptions. Always diligently research the healthcare system in your chosen destination, understanding how to access emergency services. And if your adventures take you abroad, investing in comprehensive travel insurance is non-negotiable. This policy should specifically cover emergency evacuations, extensive hospital stays, and medical repatriation. When it comes to your health, being meticulously prepared isn't just a good idea. It can be the pivotal difference between a seamlessly smooth trip and an unforeseen disaster. While medical risks are undeniably a paramount concern, they are far from the only reason travel in later life can become precarious. Heightened exposure to infections and contaminants. Beyond the worries of pre-existing conditions, one of the most often overlooked dangers of traveling after the age of 70 is the dramatically increased exposure to a wide array of germs, viruses, and the ever-present threat of foodborne illnesses. Imagine navigating through crowded airports, settling into packed airplanes, utilizing public transportation, or dining in unfamiliar restaurants. Each of these environments becomes a fertile breeding ground where bacteria and viruses thrive, eagerly awaiting a new host. For younger, more robust travelers, encountering a minor cold or a fleeting stomach bug might be nothing more than a temporary inconvenience, a brief interruption to their adventure. However, for seniors, whose immune systems are naturally less resilient, these seemingly minor infections can tragically escalate, leading to severe complications, extended hospitalizations, or even long-term health setbacks that linger long after the trip concludes. A single journey can expose an older adult to a greater volume and variety of illnesses than they might typically encounter over several months in the controlled environment of their own home, and in many instances, their immune system simply isn't equipped to mount an effective defense. As the years advance, our immune system naturally undergoes a weakening process, making it inherently more challenging to recover from infections. Respiratory illnesses in particular present a significant and amplified risk to older adults. Extensive studies have unequivocally shown that seniors are far more likely to develop severe complications from the flu, pneumonia, and even common colds, especially when exposed to novel strains prevalent in different parts of the world. Airplanes, often seen as a gateway to adventure, are in reality highly confined spaces where passengers are packed closely together, continually breathing in recirculated air for hours on end. Given that airports serve as global hubs, facilitating the passage of people from every corner of the earth daily, it becomes remarkably easy to encounter viruses and bacteria to which your body has never been exposed, leaving you vulnerable. Then there's the captivating, yet sometimes perilous issue of food and water safety. Many travelers, eager to immerse themselves in new cultures, are excited by the prospect of sampling exotic foods in different countries. However, for seniors, unfamiliar ingredients, unique spices, and diverse cooking methods can unfortunately lead to significant digestive distress. potent foodborne illnesses such as norovirus, E. coli, and salmonella can strike older adults with far greater intensity, resulting in prolonged illness, severe dehydration, and a critically weakened immune system. While local populations may have gradually built up immunity to certain bacteria present in their water supply, travelers rarely possess the same protection. A seemingly innocuous act, like drinking tap water or consuming a salad washed in local water, can unfortunately lead to serious and debilitating stomach infections. Furthermore, public restrooms, hotel rooms, and even rental cars are often overlooked havens where germs linger. Many people mistakenly assume that because a place appears clean, it must inherently be safe. Yet, surfaces like doorknobs, seat belts, and tray tables are frequently touched by countless individuals, but are rarely disinfected with the thoroughness required to eliminate harmful pathogens. Seniors who rely on mobility aids, such as canes or walkers, are at an even greater risk, as they frequently touch these public surfaces for balance, inadvertently picking up germs. So how can older travelers protect themselves if the urge to travel is simply irresistible? Taking extra deliberate precautions becomes absolutely essential. Wearing a mask in crowded areas like airports or public markets, consistently washing hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and always carrying a readily available supply of alcohol-based hand sanitizer can significantly help reduce the risk of picking up harmful germs. When it comes to consumption, stick to bottled or filtered water, avoid raw or undercooked foods in unfamiliar places, and opt for meals that are thoroughly cooked and served hot. For those embarking on international journeys, it's imperative to get all recommended vaccinations well in advance and to carry essential over-the-counter and prescription medications for potential stomach issues or respiratory infections. Staying healthy while exploring the world is entirely possible. But for seniors, it demands heightened vigilance, meticulous preparation, and a conscious effort to support a strong immune system. However, health risks, both from pre-existing conditions and new infections, are not the sole concerns. There's another insidious danger that can profoundly impact not just your physical well-being, but also your finances and overall peace of mind. The unseen burden of travel fatigue and recovery challenges. While the idea of travel often conjures images of thrilling discoveries and boundless energy, for seniors over 70, the physical toll can be far more significant and demanding than initially anticipated. Picture this: enduring long-haul flights that span continents, navigating the stress of early morning check-ins and unpredictable delays, adjusting to erratic schedules, and spending hours on your feet exploring new sites. All these elements combined can lead to a profound state of exhaustion, a deep weariness that proves incredibly difficult to shake off. Unlike the resilience of younger years, where a single night of good sleep might fully recharge the body, older adults frequently discover that travel-induced fatigue can linger for days or even weeks after returning home. And when the body is truly tired, a cascade of other issues emerges. Immune function weakens, coordination falters, and the overall risk of illness or accidental injury skyrockets. One of the most pervasive and disruptive issues seniors face while traveling is the profound disruption to their sleep patterns. Attempting to sleep soundly in an unfamiliar bed, contending with the inevitable noises of bustling hotels, or grappling with the often disorienting effects of significant time zone adjustments, jet lag, can render proper rest nearly impossible. Sleep deprivation, especially for older adults, isn't just about feeling a bit tired. It drastically impairs mental sharpness, further weakens an already delicate immune system, and can even increase the risk of serious cardiovascular problems. Research indicates that seniors who travel across multiple time zones often require considerably more time to adjust, meaning that the debilitating effects of jet lag can persist for much longer than expected, turning what should be an otherwise enjoyable trip into a miserable, draining experience, leaving travelers feeling depleted rather than revitalized. Beyond sleep, there's the sheer physical strain that travel imposes. Sitting for extended periods, whether on an airplane, bus, or train, can lead to stiff muscles, swollen joints, and critically, an increased risk of blood clots. For seniors managing conditions like arthritis or circulatory issues, these prolonged travel times can cause intense discomfort that lingers long after the journey is over. And even once you finally arrive at your eagerly awaited destination, the physical demands continue. The endless walking required for sightseeing, the effort of carrying luggage through airports and hotels, and the relentless pace of keeping up with pre-booked activities can quickly become overwhelming. What began as an exciting and eagerly anticipated vacation can rapidly devolve into a constant struggle just to keep pace with the itinerary. Consider the narrative of Richard, a 75-year-old gentleman who had always harbored a deep passion for travel. After retiring, he and his wife meticulously planned a 2-week overseas vacation, confidently assuming it would be as effortless and enjoyable as their numerous trips in earlier years. However, after enduring a grueling 10-hour flight, grappling with the complexities of navigating a notoriously crowded international airport, and then attempting to adjust to a significant 6-hour time difference, Richard found himself utterly exhausted before their adventure had even properly commenced. By the second day, he was struggling to walk long distances, battling to stay alert during guided tours, and constantly needing to take frequent, unscheduled breaks. By the time his body finally began to adjust to the new time zone, it was almost time to pack up and head back home. He spent the following weeks recovering from the sheer physical and mental toll of the trip, rather than savoring the cherished memories he had hoped to create. Another often overlooked challenge facing seniors is the difficulty in maintaining their usual dietary habits and proper hydration levels. Many travel destinations offer unfamiliar foods, which, while exciting to try, can unfortunately cause unexpected digestive issues. Furthermore, staying adequately hydrated while constantly on the move, rushing from one attraction to the next, is frequently overlooked. Dehydration alone can trigger fatigue, dizziness, and confusion, transforming even simple activities into an arduous struggle. When these factors are combined with poor sleep and significant physical strain, it becomes clear why many seniors often feel worse after a trip than they did before, rather than returning home refreshed and rejuvenated. So, what proactive steps can be taken if the call to travel remains undeniable? Seniors should meticulously plan their itineraries to include ample rest days, consciously prioritize staying hydrated by carrying a water bottle, and absolutely avoid overscheduling with back-to-back activities. Opting for shorter flights with strategic layovers that allow for movement and stretching, packing nutritious and easily digestible snacks, and intentionally scheduling time for short naps can all significantly help reduce overwhelming exhaustion. But most crucially, it involves honestly recognizing personal limits and having the flexibility to adjust travel plans accordingly. Because ultimately, a vacation should be a source of pleasure and revitalization, not an endeavor that demands weeks of arduous recovery upon returning home. While the physical toll of travel presents a serious and legitimate concern for seniors, it is by no means the only hidden danger awaiting those who venture forth. A greater likelihood of falls and injuries. Beyond the subtle battles with fatigue and illness, one of the most immediate and tangible dangers that escalates significantly when traveling after 70 is the increased and often unforeseen risk of falls and subsequent injuries. As we journey through the years, our natural balance, the speed of our reflexes, and the density of our bones all experience a gradual and often imperceptible decline, rendering us far more vulnerable to accidents. While a minor stumble within the familiar confines of your own home might be easily dismissed as a small mishap, a fall that occurs while traveling, particularly in an unfamiliar environment, can carry devastating consequences. It can lead to debilitating broken bones, necessitate lengthy and costly hospital stays far from home, or even result in permanent mobility issues. That the reality was far more challenging than she had imagined. One evening, as she stepped off a dimly lit curb in a narrow alleyway, she tragically lost her footing and fell heavily, breaking her hip. She was immediately rushed to a local hospital where doctors confirmed she required urgent surgery. Not only was her long-awaited trip abruptly cut short, but she also endured months of painful recovery after finally returning home. What was meant to be the trip of a lifetime became a harrowing experience she openly wished she had never undertaken. Another significant contributing factor to increased fall risk is the pervasive issue of fatigue. Traveling often involves demanding long days, highly irregular meal schedules, and, as discussed, seriously disrupted sleep patterns, all of which can severely impair balance and coordination. When the body is exhausted, reaction times inevitably slow down, making a seemingly minor misstep or stumble much more likely to result in a fall. For seniors contending with arthritis or chronic joint pain, prolonged periods of walking through sprawling airports, bustling train stations, or extensive tourist sites can trigger swelling and intense discomfort, further diminishing stability and increasing the risk of a sudden, painful loss of balance. So, what tangible steps can seniors take to significantly reduce these risks if travel is an absolute necessity? Meticulously choosing destinations renowned for good accessibility, consciously avoiding high-risk areas characterized by uneven or challenging terrain, and always wearing appropriate, supportive footwear are crucial preventative measures. Utilizing walking sticks or canes, investing in shoes that provide excellent grip and ankle support, and ensuring you are consistently well rested can also make a profound difference in maintaining stability and confidence. But above all, the most vital aspect is honestly recognizing and respecting personal physical limitations. Because no travel experience, no matter how enticing, is truly worth sacrificing your long-term mobility, independence, and the priceless quality of your life. If you are finding these insights valuable, it means you're genuinely considering the nuances of later life travel. Understanding these profound risks, however, brings us to our final crucial point, which many overlook, often at their financial peril. Navigating travel insurance and unexpected financial perils. Beyond the immediate concerns for physical health and safety, one of the most insidious and often unexpected dangers of traveling after 70 is not purely about medical emergencies. It's about the very real and devastating financial risks that invariably accompany these journeys. Many seniors, perhaps optimistically, assume that if they encounter a problem while traveling, they can simply rely on their existing insurance or their well-deserved personal savings to resolve any issues. However, the harsh reality is that travel-related medical emergencies, unforeseen trip cancellations, and even sophisticated financial scams can deplete a person's bank account far faster and more thoroughly than they ever could have imagined. For a significant number of seniors, a single unexpected event can irrevocably transform a carefully planned and eagerly anticipated trip into an agonizing financial nightmare, leaving them with overwhelming expenses and immense stress that lingers long after they return home. One of the most substantial financial risks, as briefly touched upon, pertains to medical care received abroad. It bears repeating. Many seniors mistakenly believe that their regular health insurance, typically designed for domestic coverage, will magically extend to cover treatment in foreign countries. This common misconception means that if you fall seriously ill or sustain an injury while traveling internationally, you could be held solely responsible for astronomical medical bills, potentially amounting to tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even in countries where healthcare appears more affordable, the cost of emergency medical evacuations, such as being airlifted from a remote location to a properly equipped hospital, can easily soar into the tens of thousands of dollars. Without the correct comprehensive travel insurance, seniors could find themselves in an utterly impossible situation, either paying an enormous, life-altering bill entirely out of pocket, or tragically, going without the critical care they desperately need. Then there's the often overlooked issue of trip cancellations. Many seniors meticulously book their trips months or even a year in advance, optimistically assuming they will be in robust health when the time for departure finally arrives. However, life, as we all know, is inherently unpredictable. Health conditions can arise suddenly and unexpectedly, or unforeseen family emergencies may occur, necessitating a trip to be either postponed indefinitely or, heartbreakingly, cancelled altogether. Unfortunately, many airlines, hotels, and cruise lines maintain strict cancellation policies that offer no or very limited refunds for last-minute changes. This means seniors can face the devastating loss of thousands of dollars if they are forced to alter their plans without the specific protection of proper trip cancellation insurance. Recovering that lost money in such circumstances can be nearly impossible, turning their hard-earned investment into a complete financial write-off. Beyond the immediate concerns of medical costs and trip cancellations, there exists another, perhaps even more insidious, serious financial risk: the threat of scams and various forms of fraud. Seniors, unfortunately, are often deliberately targeted by cunning scammers who prey on travelers, employing a range of deceptive tactics. These can include anything from operating fake taxi services that grossly overcharge for simple rides to sophisticated schemes designed to surreptitiously steal credit card information, or even overcharging for seemingly simple goods and services in tourist areas. Many opportunistic scammers specifically seek out older adults who appear less familiar with their surroundings, knowing they might be less likely to immediately detect a scam unfolding in real time. In some particularly egregious cases, criminals ruthlessly take advantage of seniors by offering fraudulent dream vacation deals that ultimately prove to be nothing more than an expensive and elaborate trap, leaving victims with nothing but a lighter wallet and a broken dream. Consider the unfortunate case of George, a prudent 76-year-old gentleman who had always been exceptionally careful with his money. He meticulously booked what he believed was a dream vacation to a tropical island paradise, diligently saving up for every single aspect of the trip. However, upon his eager arrival, he was met with a devastating realization. The luxurious hotel he had booked simply didn't exist. He had fallen victim to an elaborate online scam, and by the time he fully grasped the deception, his hard-earned money was irretrievably gone. With absolutely nowhere to stay, he was forced to desperately scramble to find another hotel, paying double what he had originally budgeted just to secure a roof over his head. What should have been a relaxing, joyous trip transformed into a deeply stressful financial mess that unfortunately continued to plague him long after his return home. So, how can seniors effectively protect themselves from these formidable financial risks? Firstly, it is absolutely essential to always verify if your existing health insurance provides international coverage. If it doesn't, or if the coverage is insufficient, investing in a robust and comprehensive travel insurance plan that explicitly includes extensive medical emergencies, emergency medical evacuations, and trip cancellations is paramount. Secondly, when booking any travel, always utilize only reputable and well-established companies, and be extremely wary of any deals that appear too good to be true. They almost certainly are. And thirdly, exercise an elevated level of caution with your money while traveling. Avoid carrying large amounts of cash. Be highly mindful of who has access to your credit card information, and never, under any circumstances, trust strangers with personal financial details. While the prospect of travel can be incredibly exciting, these numerous financial risks make it abundantly clear that after 70, an extraordinary level of caution and meticulous planning is unequivocally required. The potential for unexpected costs, the harrowing possibility of losing money due to scams, and the sheer unpredictability of health emergencies collectively transform travel into a gamble that not every senior is adequately prepared or financially able to take. Yet, does all this mean you should never travel again? Not necessarily. Final thoughts on responsible senior travel. We've just explored 5 critical reasons why traveling after the age of 70 comes with a unique and serious set of risks. Risks that many seniors, unfortunately, don't consider with enough depth until they are staring them down firsthand. From the sudden onset of unexpected health emergencies and the increased vulnerability to debilitating injuries, to the profound and lingering exhaustion, the heightened exposure to insidious infections, and the lurking danger of significant financial pitfalls, each of these formidable challenges possesses the power to transform what should be a wonderfully relaxing and enriching vacation into an overwhelming, deeply distressing, and even genuinely dangerous experience. While the romanticized notion of travel may seem like an ideal way to fully embrace retirement, the sober reality is that after a certain age, it demands a much more profound level of meticulous planning, cautious consideration, and heightened awareness than it ever did in younger years. But this comprehensive exploration of risks does not mean that seniors should permanently abandon their travel dreams. Not at all. It simply signifies that for those beyond 70, the fundamental approach to travel must undergo a significant and thoughtful transformation. Instead of embarking on exhausting long-haul flights that cross multiple time zones, enduring stressful and rushed tours, or venturing into destinations that present inherent physical risks, it may be far more prudent to strategically choose closer, safer, and more accessible options that do not place such an immense strain on the aging body and mind, exploring captivating local attractions, taking more frequent but shorter trips, or intentionally focusing on destinations that are renowned for providing easy and immediate access to excellent medical care can make an enormous difference, profoundly enhancing both safety and overall enjoyment. Travel, at its core, should enhance life, enriching your experiences and broadening your horizons, not create a new cascade of problems and anxieties that linger painfully long after the trip has concluded. Therefore, if you or a cherished loved one are contemplating travel after reaching 70, take a crucial moment to pause and honestly reflect upon the potential challenges ahead. Is your health truly stable and robust enough to comfortably handle the rigors of the proposed trip? Have you secured the correct and comprehensive travel insurance to adequately protect against unforeseen financial risks and medical emergencies abroad? Have you diligently researched and chosen a destination that is genuinely safe, easily accessible, and well suited to your specific physical needs and comfort levels? These questions, though perhaps not as glamorous as planning itineraries, are profoundly important to ask. Answering them with unwavering honesty and foresight could very well prevent immense unnecessary stress, significant financial hardship, and even grave health consequences down the road. Ultimately, living a long life isn't just about adding more years. It's about ensuring that those precious added years are lived with an unwavering commitment to quality, treasured independence, and an enduring sense of peace of mind. If conscientiously avoiding unnecessary travel means staying healthier, safer, and more secure, then it is undoubtedly worth seriously reconsidering the inherent risks before enthusiastically booking that next flight into the unknown.